I am nothing if not unique, Matt Porter.
You are very unique, but I think that's what makes us. I'll just shut up. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Isosessions of the Bourbon podcast. I am the host, Perry, and I am chatting with, and I can't see his face, which makes me a little sad, but I am very happy to welcome back to the show Matt Porter, also known as ADHD Whiskey now. You're no longer ADHD fishing, Matt.
I haven't picked up a fishing pole in a good 2 years.
But you've picked up plenty of Glencairns over the past 2 days.
Picked him up, put him down. Like repetitions, Perry. Over and over.
2 ounce curls. 2 ounce curls.
Oh, Perry, poor power somethings. It's going to take me a minute.
It's okay. We're just getting warmed up. This is my first recording of the day. I've got 2 more after this as well. So.
Oh gosh, hopefully you started off with, as dumb as you could get and get smarter as you go. I can't believe you had me back.
I am so happy to have you back. I'm definitely not going to make you cry this time.
If you do make me cry, it's okay because I'm in the basement right now and nobody can see it except for the hot water heater. And
I don't have anything to surprise you with that might get you teary.
Okay, well that's good.
Matt, how have you been? How you been holding up over the quarantines?
It's been all right. It's been different because we've been. My wife is a travel nurse now. Since we spoke last, she got into the whole travel nursing biz. So we packed up the family and we moved like 8 hours south of where we were before. And we kind of did it because we wanted to figure out where we wanted to live, like the rest of our lives. And we didn't really know much about the other areas. So we moved 8 hours south, and then we spent a lot of time just doing a lot of different things. We've been making little road trips to Chicago, checking that out, hitting up Binny's left, right, up and down. Binny's here, Binny's there. Just sneak in when he can. But since this started, that all came to a halt. So now we're back to being just locked in a box with me and 3 girls. But that box has got some whiskey.
I was about to say, I'm sure you've got plenty of whiskey.
Yeah. I'm so happy that I've acquired the whiskey. It's a real good idea. In hindsight, nailed that one.
You made a very wise decision in that.
Perfect. How about you? What's been going on over in Kentucky?
Oh, so I actually have been fairly fortunate to get out a little bit. Because I've been working for my mom still. I don't know if I had ever told you about this or not, but
the woof woof.
Yeah, the puppy walking business. Yeah. So I've been helping her out, still pretty consistently with that. But there was an opportunity that came up to do kind of full-time customer service for people who are filing for unemployment in Kentucky right now. So I start actually, as of recording, it's Easter Sunday. And I start in 2 days' time from right now. So this Tuesday, I'll be helping people sort their stuff out while still, trying to maintain my own sanity. But
yeah, I think those numbers are through the roof. You're gonna be busy. You're gonna be pulling out your pear hair left and right.
I'm gonna be dad bald before I'm even a dad. So
dad bald, that's a new one.
But I'm excited for it. And it gives me something to kind of do throughout the day, and I'll be making fairly good money with it as well.
That's good. I mean, it's finding an opportunity in this time to make money is.
It was a very strange thing, and like I had to kind of hop on it pretty quickly. But speaking of money, you're not being a bus driver anymore, then, right?
Not now, no. So back in January, we both put our notices in, and actually the first of the year we moved south a little bit. But so I haven't I haven't opened a bus door since the very end of December.
That's pretty awesome.
Um, yeah. Do I miss it? Not so much, but kind of.
Sure.
I opened up the door a couple days ago, and I got the Blue Apron off the porch. They're not a sponsor, by the way, of your podcast, but they do have
I-
they do make delicious ingredients you can make at home. but I pulled the package off the porch that the FedEx guy chucked from like 16 feet away, and
right.
I saw like a 40-foot. It was like a 40-foot friggin' transit bus. It was probably, oh man, wow. It might have been like a freight line. I don't know what it was. It was nice though, and I heard it go, and I was like, oh my. I could drive that son bitch. I wouldn't know where I'm going, but I'd drive it. I could.
It's just like riding a bike, I guess.
Except for you could really just kill people with it because it's huge.
That's true. That is very well. Yeah. I don't want to get too morbid with that.
I'm just saying, like, it's like riding a bike until you like get your shoelace caught in the chain and stop paying attention. Then it's bad.
So one of the reasons, of course, and listeners of the show will know this, but one of the reasons that you and I have ever been in contact with each other was because of Beagle Rare.
Yep.
Is the Infinity chain bottle that was making the rounds. You had talked at one point about having a plan for the 2020 version.
Yes.
Is that still in the works despite COVID-19?
It is in the works, and I really need just to finalize the idea and put it out there. And now that you mention it, I should probably do that rather quickly. The original bottle, the Beagle Rare bottle, is currently at the home of Sir Dixon Deadman, and I'm not sure what he's doing with it, if it's magic or if it's witchcraft or if it's Dickscraft, but I'm imagining it's going through its paces, just sitting in his cupboard, collecting dust, him not knowing what to do with it. But
well, at Whiskey Weekend, I was there, of course. Will and the Grease were there.
Will and Grace?
Chad and Sarah were there too, and that was, I think, at that point, the most amount of people that had gotten to, touch the bottle. And I was like, we've got to get a picture of this all together.
Yeah, that was really cool to see.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Chad and Sarah had to leave a little bit early, but just with it being me and the guys from the podcast, and then Dixon as well. I mean, that was a really, really cool moment to see all these little parts of the community be in the same room, and having not seen that bottle or not touched that bottle since November, December, whenever it was, and to see it back in person again in March. I mean, I say that, but you have not seen that bottle in over a year at this point.
Well, I saw it when I visited you. We sampled.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But since then, no, I haven't seen it. And what happened was I was originally Dixon and myself. We were talking. We were gonna somehow figure out a way for me to go down there and shoot a little bit of video and get the bottle. It's just so we can like really wrap it up with a nice video. But that was right before this whole thing happened with, the thing, the sixth thing. So
the elephant in the proverbial room.
Yeah. So that's not happening anymore. Now we're all avoiding the apocalypse, and I think he's going to send it back to me when he's finished up with it. But yeah, it'll be weird to have that in my hand looking at it.
Yeah. And I mean, he is, will he be doing any kind of video for that? I know he had talked about it at one point, not just with you, but kind of in general.
This is kind of funny. Since you mentioned it, he actually last week, I believe it was, sent me an Instagram message and said, basically, you've got mail, and like coming in hot or something like that. And it was the first part of a video that he made. So I checked my email, and there's sure enough, from Dixon Deadman himself, emailed me. That's crazy. Honestly, if he didn't say that, I would have just overlooked it because I didn't. Like, who expects an email from Samuel Dixon Deadman?
Yeah, exactly.
not this guy, but
not you, sir.
So the the title was like coming in hot, and then I click it, and there's no attachment. There's nothing. I was like,
that is so appropriate. I feel
oh,
like
yeah,
I
I
feel
was
like
like,
that is just right on the head.
so I don't know Dixon that well, but he has a sense of humor. But I wanted to type back, coming in a little cooler than you think.
He would have loved it. He would have loved that.
I basically said,
funny.
yeah, I got the email. There's no attachment. And then I hadn't heard from him since. So I think he's still figuring out. I told him probably the best way would be to put it on a thumb drive and send it with the bottle. That way it's like full quality.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great idea. I mean,
But,
even if you uploaded it to Google Drive.
oh yeah, that's a thing. I forgot about that. I don't want to be the person to try to explain that to Dixon.
I can. Do you want me to be your liaison for that then, Matt?
Possibly. Because listen to me talk, and I'm not like the best explainer. I would imagine he would probably maybe not. He might just break the bottle and say sorry. It would be 6 hours into putting a file on Google Drive.
He just smashes it against the wall.
Right. So anyway, when I get that bottle back, I'm sending out samples to everybody who was involved. And then there's going to be the remaining, which we actually never touched on in our original podcast. The leftover is going to be raffled off. It's going to be for charity.
Yes.
St. Jude Children's Hospital. We're going to do a little bit of a what's the right word? Charity auction for the bottle.
Sure.
For a good cause. So, like I said, when I started this, I wasn't looking to gain anything from it. I just wanted to have fun. So let's help some kids who are sick.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great kind of conclusion to all of this too. And we touched on it, of course, but there is a sequel in the works.
Right. Old Charter's not dead. I mean, he's dead.
He's long dead.
But he's not dead.
Long dead.
The legend of Charter lives on.
His spirit lives on.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Oh, yeah.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. So this is a plan for that. I'm going to shoot a video that's just basically the challenge for whiskey tube and the people who were involved with this in the first place. And we're going to have Part Dukes, the sequel to Beagle Rare, and it's completely different.
Okay.
I don't want to go in too much on the podcast because I don't want to misspeak or misstep or say something that isn't going to be right, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to have a great theme. It's going to make people giggle if they have a giggling bone in their body, I would assume. And it's going to carry on the fable. I mean, the true story of old Charter himself. I can't remember if I told you the plan or not.
You have not told me yet, and okay.
You're chomping at the bit.
Multiple times we were like, "Oh, you got to let me know about this," and we just like every time we said it, we like got off on a different topic of conversation.
How is that possible? I don't believe that for 1 second.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm pretty much on point 9% of the time.
No, but you'll have to tell me off air.
Oh, for sure, I will. And then we will when we. Oh man, you know what? How soon is this coming out?
This will be within the next couple of weeks, I think.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, let's. I'm trying to think of when like a good timeline is to do, because I haven't thought about this yet, and
sure.
my brain's going about 13%. So I just pour a little bit of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Tasters barrel proof rye, the barrel proof rye version.
Yes,
and it is fantastic. But my brain is pumping up a little bit. It's getting a little bit better. So
brain juice.
Yeah. Have you tried the Tennessee Taster? The barrel
I have
rye?
not actually. When we were down in in Franklin, Tennessee, for last year's Southern Whiskey Society. Tarek at Elixir had it, and I didn't get around to tasting it.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah,
I
that's
know
what everybody seems to say.
they need to, you know how they have their barrel select program for their barrel proof single barrels?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They must do that with their rye like yesterday. That is phenomenal. I don't care who knows it. It almost tastes finished. Like, because I get a red wine finish on the back end of the Jack Daniel's barrel proof stuff.
Sure.
And this has it with a rye. Ooh,
That's really
tasty.
interesting.
I wish you could see my face right now. I was making all sorts of faces. Good ones. Oh, yeah. What were we talking? Oh, the Beagle Bear thing. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
but you were trying to figure out when to release something.
yeah. So I'm going to put out a video probably the next week or so. And then, because I haven't finalized the entire, like how the finale of it's going to work. So if I say anything about it right this second, I wish we'd have talked about this beforehand, because then I would have made sure I thought about it beforehand. So then I could just tell you all about it.
See, this is what happens, is that we just talk everything on the fly and we just keep going.
Yeah, and then I say stuff I shouldn't about something that people are like, that doesn't make sense, or how's he gonna pull that off with the world today? And
he's blending all of the BTAC bottles into one.
Well, I'd have to have one first.
Yeah, well, okay, fair enough.
Perry, total tangent, but you just rang a bell. It was the reminder bell in my head.
Which was?
I'm challenging you to a challenge.
Okay, here we go.
This is a challenge. So, obviously, right? On YouTube lately, a few of the channels, we've been kind of doing some challenges against each other, which I'm very good at. Probably one of the best ever.
Look, man, considering that you challenged me to a burger eating competition and I failed miserably.
Oh man, I shouldn't have eaten so much that day.
It was a bad scene, man.
So dumb. So we both failed at that pretty bad.
Yeah.
But this is a tasting challenge.
Okay.
So there's been two different versions of what we're doing, but this is a good one. I think this is right up your alley. Right down Perry Avenue.
That's the street I grew up on.
Yeah. My Pally's alley, as I like to say, because you're my pal. So if you're interested, we'll do it. If not, just say I'll pass, and I'll understand. I mean, nobody likes to get beat that bad. Just kidding.
Oh man, okay.
I like to talk a little smack, but not a lot, because I do lose quite often. So we have 5 sample bottles, and we give them to a courier to transport to one another. In 3 of those bottles is a real whiskey, something you've poured out of a bottle that you can buy off the shelf, or could have bought off the shelf at some point. The other 2 bottles are something that we've blended ourselves.
Oh, wow.
The competition is, we have 5 samples, and we have to decide which ones are real and which ones are fake. Which ones are the real whiskeys and which ones are blended at home by us.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It's called Blender or Pretender.
Oh, I love the name. I love that so much.
So, the first time I ever did this, it went really well. It was against the Bourbon Junkies, and I demolished them so bad. This was actually right before I met you, like in person for the first time. I just killed them. And
so now you're wanted for murder.
Yeah. So then, it was a double. A double schmamashide.
Well, the joke's on you. I'm actually with the federal police, and we've been looking for you for many, many weeks.
I'm huge. I can't believe you haven't found me. Then I had the same battle last week on my YouTube channel against their friend Michael Klein, who has a tremendous palate, and he defeated me with ease. Some would say very easily, because I didn't guess either one of his blends correctly. This is kind of funny and also humiliating. I said that his blend was my favorite one of the bunch, and I didn't know it was a blend.
Wow.
In second place, that jerk, but he's also very nice, sent me an Eagle Rare 17, 2019 Eagle Rare 17 sample bottle. And I called out his blend was better than Eagle Rare 17.
That is incredible.
So I kind of looked pretty dumb on that one. But it's also a shit ton of fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'd love to get in on that.
So then I'd have you on my YouTube channel, and we basically go A. I think A is this, and B is, and just go down the line, and then we say which one we think is the best to worst, and then we reveal. Like this was. Oh, the other part is we just, for tie-breaking purposes, we put a price tag on the other three. So I'm like, oh, I think this is a real whiskey, and it's about $60.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That way, if we're both super smart and we both guess which two are blends, there's a way to still determine a winner.
Sure. So, okay, just for clarification, it's 5 samples.
Yep.
Okay, and only one of them is a home blend.
2 of them.
2 of them are home blends. Oh, yep. Okay.
2 are home blends. 3 are they can be, and we kind of did ryes or bourbons. We didn't want to dive into scotches or,
right.
Just for enjoyability's sake, we could say.
So in this instance, like you and I would go head to head on it, and then after we got done with that, I would challenge somebody else.
If you wanted to, it's a heck of a lot of fun.
Oh, but I mean that means I have to challenge Chad and Sarah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
There's no there's no doubt about it. I would be challenging them.
You'd have to challenge them, and you'd have to talk a little bit of smack. Listen, you've been the referee for too long. You've been wearing the stripes, but you should be wearing the tights. Am I wrong?
I am. Why not both? No, but I am so bad at smack talk. I legitimately am so bad at it. Like,
can I tell you something? That's what makes smack talk awesome. Is because the worse you are, the better it is. I once got into an altercation with a guy when I was in high school. He was a dude who used to bully me, and he bullied me so hard. And one day I had enough. I was sick of it. And I was like, you know what? I might lose this fight, but I'm fighting this bully. We are going to do it. And then he wouldn't fight me. He just kept running around the fireplace so I couldn't catch him. And I said, mark my words. When you leave here, you will be walking out of here on your face. And that was the dumbest. The dumbest smack talk anyone has ever talked. But I was so mad.
Did you? I mean, what happened? Did he just stop in his tracks and look at you and go, "What does that mean?"
Yeah, it was a lot of laughing at me, and he eventually did leave in his vehicle under his own control, totally fine.
Yeah, without walking on his face.
No, he left with a gas pedal on his right, brake pedal on his left. I mean, whew. But no, the worse you are at smack talk, the more fun it is, because nobody wants to. I mean, this isn't the WWE. This is real life. We can't script it.
There's nothing fake about real life, my friend.
Perry, I love talking to you. This is fun.
Dude, I see that this is the thing. I am just so happy that we get to hang out for a little bit, even though we can't be, face to face or anything. And
right.
I've said it 100 times so far, but like that's why these bonus episodes exist, because I know that everybody's going stir crazy. I know that we're all going, man, I really wish that I could just sit down and have a drink and talk with my friends. Yep. And I love getting to talk with you. I love getting to talk with people. It just brings so much joy to me. And like that was something that just I lost so quickly when everything went into lockdown. I mean, like I immediately lost drinking buddies, and I lost that opportunity to, just forget everything for a little while.
Right.
And, just by talking about like the projects that we have coming up and thinking about, what we're excited about instead of the existential dread of, of the world outside. I mean, shoot, man, I miss people. I miss you guys, and I would just want to. I wanted to do something about it.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm glad you decided to do this.
Yeah,
I know it's weird because I think that in the future, in the near, like the coming weeks, when everything starts to lift off and like the regulations kind of start to be lifted and people are allowed to go about their daily lives more. Here in Michigan, it got locked down even harder until the end of the month. But I'm thinking that, when May rolls around in June, your podcast numbers are going to go crazy because people are going to start listening to everything that they missed over the last 2 months.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, we did see kind of that downtick a little bit, but I know that people are doing other things. I know that they're dealing with it, and
Right.
not everybody's going to be downloading podcasts like they were before.
Oh yeah,
But
people aren't doing what
that
they've been doing.
and that's the thing though is I didn't want to just stop putting out episodes. I didn't want to stop putting out content. I knew that people were going to listen to it one way or another, or eventually.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
So I'm. It's one of those like you might not know that we're still here right now, but we're gonna be here forever. Yeah. And I've said it for ever since the beginning of the show. I'm gonna keep this going for as long as I absolutely can. As long as feasible, this show will continue on.
You're just gonna have to start editing out some crying in the background now. And it ain't,
because
it ain't
because of the baby. Is that
time.
what you mean, or is it me?
Huh?
Am I the one crying, or is the baby crying in the background?
Well, it's either the baby or it's Matt Porter, and you seem to do pretty well with our first podcast.
Yes, I handled the editing process for that fairly well.
Man, I couldn't believe that. I was like, he literally edited out like 40 minutes of me crying.
It was a long time.
And I couldn't stop it, Perry. I was sitting there across from somebody who I've met for the first time, just crying. That's cool. We're just going to cry for a while.
We're just going to have a good cry.
Up in your whiskey room. I'm like,
Which is getting converted into the nursery here in the next couple of months, by the way.
It's going to have the nice, like, Rick House smell to it.
Yeah, I know that we're gonna have to like Febreze and detox everything, like just spray everything with bleach to make sure that there's no bad vapors left over from.
I learned that
the baby air drunk.
I learned that Russell's Reserve from that day. I learned that Russell's Reserve, those single barrels, if you add a drop of tear to it, it actually really opens up.
All it takes is one tear for your Russell's Reserve single barrel to open up like no other whiskey. Try it today. Cry into your glass.
Oh, jeez.
I sincerely missed out on the chance to do like voiceover work at some point.
Yeah, you'd be good at that.
But now I've got nothing but time. I've got no excuse not to do it now. So maybe I'll work on a clip reel or something and get it sent off to, I don't know, Warner Brothers. Who does voiceover stuff? I have no idea.
And the question is, are the people at Warner Brothers, are they even in their office?
I'm going to bank on no, they're not.
Yeah, they're at home wishing they could golf.
They're rolling around in their piles and piles of cold hard cash.
Like the duck. What was the duck?
Scrooge McDuck.
Oh yeah, Scrooge McDuck. He's got the money. The money is his.
I stopped watching Family Guy forever ago.
I thought you were gonna say DuckTales.
No, DuckTales I'm still on. I'm still all about DuckTales, but Family Guy I just can't handle anymore. Did you ever see that scene where Peter dives into a thing of gold coins and he just breaks like every bone in his entire body?
No, it sounds familiar though.
He's just going, it's not like the cartoon. It's not real.
Oh, geez.
Sorry, I had to grab an Eagle Rare pick because now you've got me in the mood for some Eagle Rare.
Because we've been talking about Beagle Rare.
Well, between that and the Eagle Rare 17 that you got to try thanks to Michael Klein. Hey,
I have a question. What Eagle Rare pick is it?
This is from the Annapolis Whiskey Society.
Oh, okay.
It was a single barrel pick that they did for veterans, I believe. It also says on there, "Damn the torpedoes, foolproof ahead."
That's interesting.
It's very cool. Yeah.
I've got Man, Michael Klein also sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 or 6 Eagle Rare store picks that I've never had one before. I've never actually had an Eagle Rare single barrel.
Yeah, this was one of only like 2 or 3 that I had ever had in my life, and they are truly spectacular bottles.
Huh.
Mm.
I mean, I suppose I could just have a little. It's 3:21. We can have a little nip.
It's also, I mean, days and time have no meaning anymore. So.
If you'd like to, well, there's a wife upstairs who thinks that there is a time and place for alcohol. Yeah, so I mean, we can. Yeah, I'll have just a little nip.
just be judicious in the amount that you pour, I guess.
Yeah, whatever that means. We're just.
Oh, Matt Porter, I have missed you so much, my friend. I just am so happy that you wanted to do this along with me.
Well, I was really excited that you were doing more YouTube stuff. That's where the legend of me lives, is in the old YouTubes. And since you've been like on there so much more, doing things on Saturday with everybody, I was just happy to see your face, hear your voice.
I just and that's another reason why we did all that, was because I knew how much people were missing everything that they normally would have had in early March. And you know, it's slowed down a little bit as everybody's kind of become a little bit more quarantined, which is a little counterintuitive to how it should have gone. But you know, I'm still pumping out as much podcast content as I can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In the meantime,
it's hard. I mean, you have to think of material, and I have ideas and have the time. I mean, just because we're at home doesn't mean that we have all the free time in the world. Like I have two little girls who require daddy time and a wife who requires husband time.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, you know, starting this job, I mean, the amount of free time that I have is going to tank significantly here soon. Yeah. So it is what it is, though. I mean, I'm just happy that I have this little project, these bonus episodes, the Isosessions coming out and everything.
And then you're gonna have some old charter project to jump onto also. It's gonna be fun.
I am so excited for the next Beagle Rare, or whatever you're gonna call it. I don't know. Maybe it's Schmillium Schleru Schwiller.
It's pretty close.
I'm honestly not surprised.
That's, I mean, would you be? There's really no, people will be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He's that dumb. Oh geez, but no,
I'm looking forward to whatever that's going to be, man.
And the way it's going to be this time, it's not going to require us to be sending a lot of stuff back and forth. Like you're not going to have to receive something and do a full sanitization job of it from from somebody else. So if that's a hint, it's going to be a solo project.
That is really interesting.
It is interesting. Solely based on the fact that the last one wasn't. And I just said that so I could use the word soul again.
But I liked the collaboration aspect of Beagle Rare.
Oh, me too. It was a lot of fun. And this isn't going to be something that everybody will be involved with it at the same time. It's not going to be something that one person. Everybody will see each other's thing, and it'll make more sense in the future. I promise.
Sure.
Or it might not make any sense.
Or it's going to be just a cluster, and we're all going to be confused.
And you'll all understand.
Well, I'm excited for it regardless. I'm going to let you get off of here. But first off, if you guys have not checked out ADHD Whiskey on YouTube, you all definitely need to go do that. Follow him on all the social medias, of course. Matt, I love you, buddy. I miss you. Thanks so much for hopping on for a little bit.
Thank you, Perry. I appreciate it. Have a good Easter. Happy Easter. Have a good time recording with everybody else. Hopefully everything is smooth and great in your household. And if you ever need anything, I'm always here for you, bud. Just reach out and holler, because love you, man.
I just got the warm fuzzies. for a second.
That was the Eagle Rare.
Yeah, it definitely was. But I appreciate you, man. If you guys want to follow the show, we are at My Bourbon Pod on all social media channels. You can give us a 5-star rate and review on the iTunes app, and then you can become a patron of the show at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. And for as little as $5 a month, you get bonus content like our bonus episodes that come out every month. And I think that does it for this ISO session. Thank you again, Matt, for hanging out with me, man. We will see you all next week for the next one. But until then, I'm Perry, and this is My Bourbon Podcast, ISO Sessions.
Bye.
And I think that's how I've been ending it, but I'm not entirely sure.
Who's to say?